Hello, welcome to the daily political tarot readings here on the Black and Orange channel. Thank you so much for being here. I am here 365 days of the year to take your 12 political questions and read on them at 12 noon. Just leave your questions in the chat between 11 and 12. And then during the live stream, anything in all caps is how you communicate with me. And other than that, please just type normally. So people have whole conversations. They're really helpful and kind to each other. So it's good to just, so don't get distracted. 10% of my income from everything Black and Orange goes to Feeding America at feedingamerica.org, which supplies food to food banks across the country. And that is an ongoing thing. We have epic troll slayers who keep us safe. Thank you. 10% of my income from everything Black and Orange goes to Feeding America at feedingamerica.org, which supplies food to food banks across the country. That's an ongoing thing. Did I just repeat myself? I don't think so. I should make a list, but I just wing it. All right. Big news day. I'm actually a little bit late because I actually had both MSNBC and CNN going in my ears at the same time, hoping they were going to get to the big news, the two big news stories today. But understandably, all they talked about was Ukraine. And it was like, really? Come on. So I understand why they were talking about Ukraine, but still. I was hoping to bring you more information, but so I know what you know pretty much. All right, so I'm glad you like the new camera. I actually took down the lights and the blind I would move across. I actually risked taking them down this morning. So because the camera is doing such a great job. But this Saturday, just so you know, for patrons, it is from 8 to 10 p.m. This Saturday evening will be our monthly get-together, our tarot social. Ask me all kind of things. We almost never talk about politics, but people have questions about the future and technology and people, famous people have passed on, and, we just reread on all kinds of stuff. So that's this Saturday. From 8 to 10 p.m. Central Time in the U.S., Chicago time. I'm in Chicago. Hello from Chicago. Hello from Chicago. Can you actually see that it says Chicago now? This is truly a great camera. If you can, after all these years, finally see that it says Chicago. That's where I am. So anyway, the reason I bring that up, one, to remind you, but also, and to let you know if you'd like to join in. There's usually less than 20 of us there, so you're always welcome. Just join Patreon. It's not very expensive, and down in the description box is the link. But the reason I bring that up is it's from 8 to 10 at night, and I don't usually do nighttime things. And when I do, I have to put on so many lights that it literally hurts my eyes. I'm serious. As a matter of fact, one of the lights I use that I try to keep out of my peripheral vision is this thing, because this is a sun lamp. And this is so bright. And I bought it specifically to use because trying to get enough light into the camera. I mean, trying to feel like it's the 1920s. And, next thing I was going to buy were Klieg lights, But this camera is amazing. I was actually, when I got it, it came sooner than I expected. It was there one evening. By the way, you can skip ahead to you can use the if you're watching this on replay, you can go down in the description box. Everything's timestamped. You can skip ahead to whatever you're interested in. So anyway, but I got this camera in the evening, and I set it up, and I'm like, well, of course it's going to be, dark. Could see me just as well as you can see now. No extra lights. I was like, after all the problems I've had. So anyway, all right. Electrostorm says maybe the new camera will make you use less light. I think so. I mean, I don't know. I'm still testing this thing out, but I mean, I'm amazed. I can see my eyes. I can actually see oh, look, there's an iris and a pupil, and this is great. So anyway, all right. I love that joke. Oh, Chris has great news. The judge ruled with Tish James that JT can be charged $10,000 a day for noncompliance. Yes. Hannah says my camera's like this. Good. Which one do you have? This is a Logitech Brio, and it is worth every penny. So, all right. If you're new around here, hello. You will see the bright colors, the silliness, the oh my gosh, you read on news and you do all of this and the nails and the thing. Yes, because we're trying to keep the energy up high, because then we go down into the muck of reading on these politicians and grossness and bad situations, and then we come back up, catch our breath, and then we go back down into the muck. So that's what this is for. So this is not the kind of thing you would see on news channels or news channels that just talk about the news. I mean, if you go David Pakman, Hal Sparks, all these others, theirs are just manly, blue and manly. And mine is all graphic artists run amok. So, oh, Kathy Lamson saying Trump won't pay anyway. Oh, let's look at that. Yes, please. Oh, and the star of the show, yes, Boo Boo Zen Kitty, who is currently under that blanket. So if you see something moving back here, that is him all curled up and snoozing. So, all right. Whew, thank you, Fran. Where was it? Anna, also Logitech. I'm amazed. I'm very pleased. Anyway, all right. 7.5 minutes in. We're actually going to start with the Ukraine questions, Ukraine, Russia. Then we're going to do the Trump January 6th stuff. There were 2,316 text messages between Meadows and others released, but I don't about what was going on before and during and after January 6th. But I was skimming the article. I wasn't seeing anything new, but please correct me if I'm wrong. So, okay. All right, let's go do the Ukraine thing. Oh my gosh, it's so sad. Okay, this is kind of the darkest thing, I think. Yeah, one of the darkest things we're going to cover today. So I'm holding your hand through this, okay? I'm holding your hand. Russian soldiers have taken to holding Ukrainian civilians captive and demanding ransom from their families. Will they be stopped? Flames coming out the side of my head. Boy, okay. Anger. So, will these Russian soldiers be stopped from kidnapping civilians and holding them ransom? They say the fish rots from the head. There are few more rotten than Putin. There may be some, but there are not many. The man has the energy of a serial killer. I'm serious. Only with more power. Because serial killers, for all their disgustingness, compared to Putin, they're really small fry. But yeah. Oh, this makes me angry. star. Well, the world is watching, and there is hope. But this is also flashbulbs, pictures or video. We have your person, pay us. Leo Backman saying they looted everything, so the only way to get money, they can get money, it's sick. Yes. Renu says, my Ukrainian friend said Ukraine has suffered by Russian hands before and survived. They will survive again. Wheezy Squeezebox is saying the man is a serial killer. Yes. Yes. All right. 3 of Cups, Page of Pentacles, 10 of Cups, 6 of Swords, World. Well, Russian soldiers are getting more and more desperate because they're not winning. They're just not. And even though there's a huge amount of shelling on Ukraine's eastern front, they've taken some small villages, but they haven't taken any big cities. There was supposed to be this big push from the east. Oh no. And it's just not really working. So, and these Russian soldiers are saying, they were sent in there, not enough supplies, not enough food, not enough, many of them were lied to, on and on. So they feel disgustingly justified in looting. Now, for the Russian soldiers who are looting to get some food because they're starving, if they're not hurting anybody, if they're just taking it, it's kind of like stealing from a grocery store. It's not good, but you don't put someone in jail for 20 years for stealing a loaf of bread from a grocery store. It's these other people who deserve all the condemnation poured, heaped, mountained upon them. But these are just, they don't have good leadership. They don't, none of it's going well. What have they got to go back to? Putin makes the most awful leader because he sets no decent example of anything. And again, the Ukrainians are being supplied. So people being held for ransom, I don't have ransom. This isn't ransom. I mean, this might be taking some people somewhere, but it doesn't really, it's going to end. This does not feel like it's an ongoing thing. Maybe a little bit. I mean, I'm just not seeing this becoming bigger, and I'm not even sure why. Why not? What would stop them? But it feels like maybe they just lose the war and they can't pretend anymore that they haven't. There was talk this morning about Putin's not going to win by May 9th, whenever they celebrate when the Soviet Union defeated the Nazis. It's the celebration of that, and it's like May 8th, May 9th, I think it's May 9th. And they have a big parade and all this stuff, and I've been saying for a while now, Putin should just say, I won. There were Nazis there. I got rid of them. I won. Bring his forces home. And Ukraine could be like, yeah, he won. Mm-hmm. But it would allow Putin to save face. So, thank you, Marie. Thank you. Oh, Renier is saying 6th of May. Okay, thank you. what Putin's doing, that's no way to run a military. And you don't need me to tell you that. Janelle Espinosa saying exactly. I say the same thing. He can declare victory at any time. Roland Baker is saying May 7th. Okay. Empress. Ace of Wands. King of Pentacles. Three of Swords. Boo is snoring. Hermit. If this is this could be kidnapping continuing on after the war, but not in the same way. It's something that happens. It's something that happens in Russia too. But Ukraine came in. Ukraine is here. The Russians came in. They thought that they had the upper hand. This would only be, a few days, and they'd be marching in Kyiv. Apparently, the first soldiers literally did not pack enough food, but did have their dress uniforms with them. It did not go so well. A lot of atrocities will be looked into. There will still be some random kidnappings, but I'm not seeing this becoming the thing. And if anything, it's a sign of desperation. It's from Getty. Teresa Ford said Zelensky should make a recording that says Putin and Russia have removed all the Nazis and blast it to Russia. I mean, could it hurt? Might help. You know what? And I think if he thought that would help, I think he'd do it. Seriously. I think he'd be like, sure, okay. Yes, thank heavens the Russians have destroyed the Nazis. Go home. But anyway. Roland Baker has May 7th. 1945 is when Russia ended the war with Germany after 3 million Russians were killed by the Nazis. Also, May 1st is another important date, a celebration of unions. Linda Johnson says Russian mob, they also deal in trafficking. Yeah, and that's still around, unfortunately. Boy. Not just says Victory Day is May 9th. Have a good day, Tisrat. All right. It's despicable. So at 1830, NATO is considering sending warships to the Black Sea to escort commercial vessels on their trading routes to maintain their safety and keep trade open. Will Russia see this as overstepping the line? Is this the beginning of a full NATO involvement? All right, protecting the trading routes. There was a Tom Hanks movie that came out in the last year or two, maybe a couple of years, where he played a captain who was protecting transport ships crossing the Atlantic during World War II. It was so fascinating. I actually went and found the book it was based on, and I read the book, and then I watched the movie because I do stuff like that all the time. It was amazing. The book was better than the movie, but the movie was awfully good. Can't remember what it was called. Can you guys hear him? The Greyhound, was that it? It was a good movie. Did anyone see it? I highly recommend it. Lovers. Okay. Loyalty. Loyalty. 9 of Pentacles. Judgment. Ace of Swords. Knight of Swords. I'm ending with military action and a thief card. Ah, that sounds interesting, Ricky. 9 of Pentacles. So Russia thought they were sitting pretty. Well, you know, because of course they didn't lose that huge, the Moskva, that huge, their flagship. No. That was an accident. Ukraine didn't knock that down. No, they didn't send a missile, Neptune missile. They didn't. No. It was just an error on our part. Someone was smoking where they shouldn't have, or yes. And that's why we've moved all of our ships back from the shore. If you're going to lie, could you at least just try? Just try to make it sound believable. But they thought we were seeing pretty. But judgments. These are some Russia. It's like getting aggressive, but not necessarily crossing a line, like getting in the way, like getting in their face, getting in the way. It's ending in a thief card, which is not good. Let's see if I can get any more information. So NATO is considering sending escorts. So these are escorts for trading, or trade by ship. Because apparently this morning, Russia bombed 5 Ukrainian rail stations, and it's a big deal because apparently is it the Abrams tanks? No, it's either it's some of the big guns. I don't remember exactly what it was. Maybe it's all of them, but they're really hard to move any other way but rail. So thank you, Al. Greyhound, based off the book The Good Shepherd by C.S. Forster. It was a good book, good movie. Highly recommend. Really? You're gonna... So, is the U.S. going to, or NATO, is NATO going to have escorts for trade? Ace of Pentacles. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of material coming in. And it isn't just trade, it's going to be donations, and it's going to be other countries helping Ukraine. 7 of Pentacles, Page of Cups, 8 of Wands, 5 of Wands, King of Swords, this feels like the infighting in Russia, the military. This is someone trying. This feels like this person is trying to, in Russia, is trying to get control of the military, because the military is running amok. They're not a focused fighting team. I don't have, I mean, I've got, there's water here. there's the right, potentially the right, like Putin, the Russians potentially attacking a lot or what, but this is just chaos amongst their own ranks and someone trying to get. So that's what I'm getting. I'm not really getting World War III. I'm not really getting. Actually, I have not been getting World War III, but I've right now. It feels, for what it's worth, for all the damage they're doing, it feels like right now Russia's military couldn't. All I can think of is the English expression that's a little bit rude. They couldn't organize a party in a brewery. That's what it feels like, for what it's worth. If it's not full out infighting, it's just they're fragmented. They're not organized, focused. So, Dale Christie, thank you. Yeah. Electra Storm says news. Rick Perry, remember Rick Perry? Man who thought eyeglasses would make him look. It would help make up for, anyway, his. So Rick Perry denied sending text messages to Mark Meadows with suggestions about overturning the election result, except he signed one of his text messages, Rick Perry, with his phone number. Not a mental giant, our Perry, our Rick Perry. Bless. He thought glasses would make him look brighter, and it looks better, but then you speak, or yeah, anyway. Oh boy. Musical Neptunian says yes, or to use a Yorkshire expression, Russia's military is good for naught, which means nothing. Yep. Oh boy. Janelle says only the best people. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, so at 28:30. 8:30. Here we go. The U.S. has met with Zelensky. Yes, and Blinken and the person who went with them. They've gone back. They've gone back to Poland. So I believe is what I heard this morning. So the U.S. has met with Zelensky. Blinken promised more aid in the form of humanitarian items, weapons, and ammunition. It was also announced that the U.S. will resume diplomatic operations within the country and have an embassy back open soon. Will the diplomats be safe? Is this a taunt against Putin? And hello, Republicans. Can we actually have an ambassador to Ukraine? We haven't had one since what was her name? So many people to keep straight. Ukrainian ambassador woman lost her job in the Trump era. I can't remember her name. I can see her, but her Pamela Bryant. Yes, Fiona Yovanovitch. Yes, Viola vibes. I knew you guys would get it. Excellent. Yes, Fiona Yovanovitch. Marie Yovanovitch. Yes. Fiona Hill, Marie Yovanovitch. I think we're talking about Marie Yovanovitch. Anyway, there's so many people There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people to keep straight. But we currently don't have an ambassador to Ukraine because Republicans are holding everything up. So the question was, will the diplomats be safe? Will we reopen? Will diplomats be safe? Will it be successful? Fiona Hill was a national security aide. Thank you, Gary. Marie Ivanovich was the ambassador. That was it. Marie Ivanovich. Thank you. Al Menzi says Biden just nominated Bridget Brink to be the ambassador to Ukraine. Well, let's hope so. We don't have one. Suspension. Okay. Empress. Should we put this down? There's an autofocus on the camera, and I'm a little concerned it's jumping. But I'm gonna be trying different things to see how they work. All right, Empress, 2 of Swords, 7 of Pentacles, Page of Wands, 6 of Pentacles. This is America. This is making a decision. It definitely sends a message of support to Ukraine. We have stuff. We have humanitarian aid, weapons, ammunition. We got stuff. Look, we'll start talking to you, and we'll give you some of it. That's so. Yes, we will. Thank you, Pamela. Will it cause more trouble with Putin? We've caused as much trouble with Putin as we can. I mean, at this point, if he either does something absolutely insane, or he doesn't, because he's done everything else. I mean, if we were going to provoke him into warfare, if what we were doing would provoke him to warfare, nuclear, whatever. Okay. Justice. Yeah, let's get some justice going. Let's get some Hague. Let's do that. Knight of Swords, Magician, 9 of Cups, Lovers, Ace of Pentacles. These are various embassies. We need to get on with it. And Ukrainians are grateful. That's all I'm getting. I'm not getting, there's surprisingly little Russian energy here. So maybe that's good. Maybe that means it won't have an effect. All right. At 34:30, thank you for being here. Seriously, I so enjoy doing this with you guys. All right, 34:30. Oh boy. All right, the last Ukrainian question. And I'm grateful for all your questions. It's just, we have to gird ourselves to get through these. Okay. The U.S. is warning that Russian hackers will more than likely try to interfere with our midterm elections. Will they be successful? Hackers, U.S. midterm elections. the astrology is kind of crazy. I don't know if you guys have looked at the astrology. And on November 8th, 2022, which is the midterm elections in the US, but there's an eclipse that day. Neptune is opposite. We've had the Pluto return. Pluto's returned to where it was. It's actually moved a little bit on from that now, thank heavens. But Neptune is opposite where Neptune was in the US chart, where it is in the US chart. So we've got Neptune opposite. Luckily, we have other good things going on, because the last time that we had a Neptune return, and then the last time Neptune was across from where it was in the US chart, we had a civil war. And I'm not getting that happening, but there's all kind of high anxiety in the astrology of November 8th. So it may be that some people try some stuff, but I keep getting that Democrats are going to retain control of Congress. I just keep getting that. I worry about it too. I remember Andre from Astrology Alert. He was so kind after the last presidential election, and after we knew Biden won. It was official. He came on the show. He came out here, and he was saying, I'll tell you, the night before the election, I was so nervous. And I was like, yeah, I was nervous too. I was so nervous. But you know what gave me hope? It was your video, I said to him. He was saying, look, the astrology says it's right here. Trump has terrible astrology on election day. Biden has really good astrology on election day. That's just the way it is. So don't get upset or what have you. I said, that video really gave me hope and allowed me to rest. He said, really? Because I was really nervous. So I watched one of your videos where you said he was going to win. That made me feel better. So we all, I think the good readers and the good tarot readers, the good astrologers on YouTube, the good ones, we're not so full of ourselves that we're like, why, yes, I'm always right, or there's never any question, we all worry. Ace of Pentacles. Well, here's the thing. What I'm getting is, it's not necessarily hackers. There was a lot of Republican. It doesn't have to be full-blown traitorous hand over passwords, but a change of priorities. So maybe hacking isn't treated as seriously, or Marianne Love says, if you can watch about these events and tell us something, it would be amazing. I don't know what you're speaking of exactly. I'm sorry. Pamela Bryant, the two of you holding one another up. Yeah. Yep. And I've said this over and over and over. Matter of fact, it says it in the description box. Nobody who does this is 100% accurate. And generally, it's the consensus among readers and astrologers. That's what's most likely to happen. So, Six of Cups. That would be us thinking, well, our election will be fine. King of Swords. Queen of Wands. Four of Pentacles. Thank you, Pamela. Six of Pentacles. Well, we know the right's going to try. They've tried gerrymandering. They're going to try because they're just not going to have enough votes. I keep getting this. They just don't have enough votes. And so they try to find workarounds. And we're over here and we're like, well, we're just going to vote. We're just going to vote. And there are election laws in place and safety mechanisms, and we'll just do our thing. And this is, well, on the far right, we are going to do this differently because we don't have enough votes. So we're going to try stuff. I'm not getting a whole lot of hacker energy here, though. Pamela Bryant says, Republican workaround equals cheating. Did I say that? I have in the past. Katie Arbuckle says, the day Biden won, the sun was shining, the coffee was delicious, and the beach air was crisp. It was a lovely day. I think I have got a picture on Instagram on my personal account of, I took a picture of a clock, and I had a vegan brownie and a cup of cocoa. And I think that was the main thing, but yeah, I celebrate with carbs. That's just how it is. Oh, Russia is going to be really mad because Putin's people, Putin himself. Does it feel like Putin's going to be around in November? Don't know. Feels like he's there, but I need to pull some cards. Two of Cups. Al Menzies saying, really, hasn't the voter fraud that's been found is an all Republican, like Mark Meadows being registered to vote in 3 states? 3. Nice try. This is us voting. This is a well-oiled, well, a little creaky, but it's a well-oiled machine. We go out, we vote, and the far right, they're burdened under this. We can't possibly have lost. We can't possibly have lost. There's no way we could have lost. Everybody I know believes exactly what I believe. Oh, boy. All right. At 44. All right, here we go. 44. And let me move this up a little bit. Hang on a second. Where's I thought there was a question here about the judge finding Trump in contempt. I think I need to do that right now. I don't see it here. So that's what we're going to do. At 44:30, Trump contempt! Exclamation point. So what's happening is, I didn't even realize it was this bad. So what's happening is that Letitia James wanted information about Trump org, about Grift Co., as I call them. And one of the things she wanted information was not just records for the company, but records from Trump himself. And apparently there's this like room or just a whole bunch of file cabinets. And apparently it's all those notes that Trump has taken. It's all information in chronological order, I suppose. And all of this stuff of his. Mr. I don't write emails. Well, they have this other record, this other set of records. Letitia James has been trying to get access to that. So Letitia James, she said, I want this list. I want everything you have on this. And Trump himself said, I don't have any information on that. Matter of fact, apparently somebody she's the AG, she's the Attorney General of New York State. The AG's office flew down to Mar-a-Lago, talked to Trump personally, and said, I need documentation on this. He's like, I don't have any. What about this? I don't have any. This, I don't have any. This, I don't have any. Right. You're the head of the company, but nothing. So, Letitia and Trump org, Grift Co., hired a company to come in and just find what they need and go give them the thing. That's what this company is supposed to do. But this company has worked for other far-right and Republican people and done the same kind of foot dragging. Well, apparently with Trump, it was even worse. Because months were going by, Trump, the company, and therefore the Trump org, they were not meeting the deadlines for turning stuff over. And finally, it reached a point where Letitia James said, look, we have to do something here. And has asked the judge to hold Trump in contempt of court, civil court. The judge has agreed because apparently Trump has turned over 0 records. 0. I didn't realize it was that bad, but it's 0 records. So the judge has said, we're charging you $10,000 a day. Oh, Emperor, we're charging you $10,000 a day until you turn over this information. Katie Arbuckle asks, has we checked the toilets? Of course, I can't think about that at all without just picturing Trump going. Wasn't he chewing some document somewhere? Hello, Justin's mom. So, $10,000 a day, huh? Now, first of all, Trump doesn't want to pay anything. He may just consider this legal fees because with the amount of funds he's getting from his followers, you have to remember he has what his main source of raising money, I think, from them is he's got like $110 million. Well, even if you're being charged $10,000 a day, I mean, you hold on for a year and you've got $110 million. Is that really going to be a huge, is there going to be a lot of skin off your nose? Terry Thomas asks, is it $10,000 a day retroactive? Not that I've heard, but please correct me. I would love to be wrong. Yes, Pamela Bryant, let's go higher, $500,000 a day. Yes. But the last time I tried to read on something about this, because we thought this might happen, I was getting some interesting information that was basically Trump couldn't hack paying out the money. It made him so angry. Catherine Rodriguez says they should put a lien on his assets. So, and Terry Thomas says for him $1 a day is too much. Yeah, he wouldn't want to pay that. So Trump, Actually, I heard this. I had an AirPod in my ear, and I was walking to get my nails, and it was Trump is being held in contempt of civil court and is being fined $10,000 a day as of now. And I was walking along, and I just started doing a little dance. Oh, it's a good day. So, Linda Johnson says he more than likely has all these documents in several storage units in Florida. Katie Arbuckle says, nah, it's the toilets. I love you guys. All right, 3 of Pentacles. Yeah, the documents, the plan, the money, the plan, the documents, the Kevin. World. Can't stall anymore. Victory. 6 of Wands. 5 of Swords. Queen of Swords. 2 of Wands. Okay. Trump was going to do what he normally did. Is drag your feet, drag it out. Letitia James, she said there's some kind of deadline coming up, and I'm wondering if we've got some statute of limitation issues going. So he thought, this will be my plan. It'll run out, it'll be the end, and I'll just walk away victorious. But this also feels like it's not going to work after all, because this is an insult to injury in the middle. How much of a hissy fit do you think Trump is throwing right now? How much do you think people are avoiding him right now? Because he's so mad. He got mad at his own son for actually trying to donate use of a golf course for an important charity event. Imagine this. This is Letitia James. We want the communication. We want the paperwork. Yeah, you don't want to be around Trump today. And it says toilet paper flung everywhere. Renier, huge, massive, yes. Oh boy. So, the records. What's going to happen? Is the court going to get the records? Or is this going to go beyond? Because once you're in contempt of civil court and you're still blowing stuff off, what happens? Revolution Ricky saying someone needs to tell temper tantrum Trump that the whole world doesn't revolve around him. It's about time somebody said it didn't, who could make it stick. Page of Pentacles. It's the kid's fault. Blame the kids. Why haven't you taken care of this, Junior? Somehow he's throwing all of this on the kids because nothing's ever his fault. It's costing him. You're costing me money. And this, he keeps calling Letitia James. He keeps calling her racist. Mr. Projector. All right. High Priestess. We have to keep our secrets. No, you don't. No, you don't necessarily get to keep your secrets. That's a big old death card. We've got an Ace of Cups right in the middle. I've got a 9 of Wands and a 3 of Wands. He's scrambling Trump is scrambling, trying to figure out, what do I do next? What do I do next? Because he cannot keep these secrets. He cannot. It will not work. And this is a very powerful rise of this Democratic energy, this not Trump energy rising up, where he's feeling attacked from all sides, and he's also trying to distract himself. And because it feels like he thought he was in trouble, but now he was starting to feel like, once again, I'll just get away with everything. Okay. Thief. That's a thief card. As in, you done messed up. Five of Cups. Disappointment. Couldn't kick all the cups down. 10 of Wands. Burden. 10 of Cups. That's evidence all laid out. 2 of Wands. Hermit. I'm getting good energy here. And I'm getting communications being scrutinized. I think they have a lot of what they need. I think she has a lot of, at least Letitia James has a lot of what she needs. However, it's not really a slam dunk. He tried to kick over this stuff, but his information is going to get turned over. How would his information get turned over without a subpoena? $10,000 a day? He'd want that to go away. He'd want someone else to pay it, but that wouldn't be enough to get him to turn over documents. And that's a lot of that's under the burden of documents. That's a lot of documents that's used as evidence, and communications are scrutinized. But I don't know if these yeah, could be related. I don't know. Linda Johnson says we just might see him in jail and being fined that $10,000 a day till he turns it over. Well, what comes up against him? Will the pushback, will the courts keep upping the ante on him until he complies? Yes, please. Oh, please. Oh, please. M. Kelpie says, I wish it was $10,000 per document. Yes. Yes. Sharon Ann says it could result in additional charges like obstruction of justice, but it's a civil court. I don't have enough legal knowledge to know how that plays out. Two of Pentacles. I just heard they can't afford it. can't afford it. Not like, oh, we're saying we can't afford it, but how could you have $110 million sitting there, which you can use? Every time I read on Trump's finances, I get, he is sunk. He's so underwater that there's no coming back. He's hanging by a thread in deep water. And I just get, he's desperate for money. And I think, well, they say he has these loans that are going to come due, but he's already making a whole lot of money off of his supporters. But it feels like it's throwing good money after bad, because it's going into businesses that are not successful. Page of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles. He's gonna throw the kids under the bus as much as possible. He's just yelling at Junior. Four Swords. Three of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles. Junior's supposed to go do something. Make this go away. His business practices. Okay, so I'm not getting something specific about, all right, he's not going to pay it, and then this is going to happen. He's in an awful financial situation. He's going to put this off on the kids, but there's some real financial problem there. And he'll do anything to not be held accountable. But that's all I'm getting. It doesn't feel like it growing beyond. Pamela Bryant says, in one of your earlier readings, didn't you see the country club being seized? I saw Mar-a-Lago being seized at some point. But Gary Foster says there can be a criminal contempt out of a civil matter, but it's usually extraordinary. Okay. Thank you, Gary. Thank you. I'll have to check back. But it's a good day. This jerk is being held accountable, at least to a point. That's movement in the right direction. All right, 103.30. Mark Meadows. Investigators, this is a quote, investigators also found evidence that Meadows repeatedly communicated with GOP Representatives Scott Perry and Jim Jordan before and on January 6, 2021. Hutchinson identified Perry, Jordan, and Representatives Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert as the leading proponents in Congress. So that's a quote. New testimony shows that Mark Meadows was informed of violence before January 6. Will proof come to light that Trump knew and refused to do anything about it? Will charges be forthcoming against anyone? All right. Charges be forthcoming. Meadows. Yeah, this hurts my heart. This hurts my heart chakra is starting to hurt, and my solar plexus is starting to hurt. boy, is there a whole lot of drinking in Washington, D.C., even on a good day. But boy, it just feels like rivers. Just tsunami Washington, D.C. with alcohol. They'll just drink it all up. Queen of Cups. Ooh, potential of being held accountable. Queen of Cups. Because this is the Biden administration, including the DOJ. Death card. This is not an auspicious beginning. Not a particularly good beginning. Four of Pentacles. Three of Cups. Happy Democrats. King of Swords. Four of Meadows and these people. They had lost the election, and they were losing power. Also, what they were trying to do wasn't working, but there was this death that they knew that things could ramp up into violence. And, there's a possibility, I don't know, but it's a possibility from what I was seeing yesterday, there may even been some planning. Like entertainment only, what do I know? Reading on the collective energy. But the cards I was getting yesterday for a plot to kidnap Pence that day, the cards were really clearly saying yes. This is us in the middle going, yes, finally. This is a prosecutor, and this is my card for Mar-a-Lago, which isn't necessarily Mar-a-Lago. It's the circle around Trump. This is his base of power. It's also a vacation and retirement card. I used to call it my cruise ship card. That's not what this is right here. Oh. Mark Meadows, you specifically. Another towering genius of strategery, and potentially sedition. Sharon Ann pointing out, I wonder if there was a plan to kill Pelosi and AOC. They showed up in full armor with zip ties. Never forget the man holding all the zip ties for wrists. Page of Wands. When there was some shooting through a doorway, or there was some, or was it from the balcony? But there were some people in Congress who were on the floor at the time that all this went down, who there was some shooting, so they dropped to the ground and they were trying to crawl away. I wish I could remember who this was. They decided to crawl toward this Democrat decided to crawl toward the Republicans because they knew they'd be safer over there. Kind of tells you all you need to know. Four of Swords, Five of Pentacles, Hanged Man, Queen of Swords, Strength. This is law enforcement. These guys are out in the cold. Meadows, you are out in the cold. Your plot didn't work. You're out in the cold. This is big suspension for you. And this is investigation. This isn't even just investigation. You've got the Queen of Swords with the Strength card. This is big legal problems. Big. Bigly. So, couldn't happen to a bigger jerk. There aren't that many bigger jerks. Oh boy. All right. Yes, Gina, they also took off their pins, so it would be harder to identify them. All right, so at 1:10:30, Elon Musk. Okay. 1:10:30. I heard someone ask, is Elon Musk a Trumper? And I immediately just said out loud, Elon Musk is a Musker. Anyway, Elon Musk apparently will more than likely own Twitter by the end of the week. I don't know about that. What will this mean for free speech, and will Trump be back? Is Musk dangerous? Okay, so the thing about Elon Musk, he's trying to do create some creative contracts, where he was loaned money, because of course these people, they don't use their own money, they never do. And it has to do with, he was even thinking, I don't even know how you could, but he was thinking about combining Tesla, SpaceX, and Twitter for some contractual thing to raise money, or I don't know. Stephanie Martin is saying Russia strikes 5 Ukrainian rail stations in an hour. I was talking about that earlier. But it's not a done deal. Actually, most of these people, once you get to a certain position of wealth, they literally live on loans, because then they don't have to pay taxes. Queen of Cups. Okay, I think that's Twitter seeming more liberal at the moment, although we've all been on Twitter. There is an array of opinions on Twitter. 9 of Swords, just not pro-sedition. Ace of Cups, 4 of Cups, Knight of Swords, 5 of Swords. First of all, there are no money cards here. I've got no pentacles. I have a lot of emotions. I have a lot of contractual stuff. This is some underhanded corporate writing, as 'twere. He might. Because it ends with, well, we should double check, but it ends with aggressive legal maneuvering and an insult to injury. So is that the board fighting back with their poison pill, or is that Musk himself? Menzies says the board is considering, it's a public held company, may have to have the stockholders vote on it. Hello, Courtney. Linda Kingsley saying Elon Musk wants an outlet to promote his businesses and make money. Elon Musk, Twitter. This is a card of illusion and delusion. Elon Musk does not see the same objective reality we do, which allows him to think outside the box, which can be a good thing. But I often find him hard to read on because the logic. I mean, I can understand some of like the Trump people, some of the stuff they do, because it's like, you just feel very small and you lash out and you're trying to make yourself look important. Musk, he's hard to read because like when you read on serial killers, they have no empathy, but they have a lot of anger. So you can understand the motivation. With Musk, it's not about the money. It is about the power, but it's how he's viewed is what he cares about more than anything. So I guess that's pride. We know he has enough of that. Moon. So Musk, you can take over Twitter. 4 of Moon, 4 of Swords, 7 of Wands, Temperance, 10 of Swords. It's a battle. I'm getting back and forth and back and forth. There's like skirmishes. Devil. King of Wands. King of Cups. Ace of Wands. All right, so he's taking action. So people were very upset, and then it looked like it wasn't going through, and he was on the defensive. There's something gets in the way, though. It feels like the board does do something. They do something, and it doesn't go. It would hurt, or it doesn't go through. There's something in the way. A major arcana Temperance right there. But it's going to be back and forth, and it's going to be quite the battle. I mean, Twitter has such a reputation, it's the little blue bird, and it's just 100, well, it's not 280, but 140 characters, and they're called tweets, tweet, but the amount of money and influence we're talking about makes these people like Wolverines, these business people like Wolverines behind the scenes. Linda Johnson says maybe the FCC gets involved. Electra Storm says, will anything replace Twitter in the near future? That's inevitable, but near future I could look. Chariot. Four of Pentacles, 2 of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. He does what he wants. He really does have stupid amounts of money. He does what he wants, but it's rickety. There's something rickety here. But he stands up. I do the thing, but It's going to be a lot of, you know what? Forgive me for putting it this way. It's going to be like a lot like watching, in my opinion, watching the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial, courtroom battle, whatever it is. You're toxic together. It was a bad situation. Just go away. Just walk away from each other. Just walk away. Get on with your lives. Get on with your lives. But this, it's like Twitter and Musk fighting, back and forth, using more and more convoluted legal twists and turns to whatever. And it's just like, nobody's going to win. Nobody's going to be happy here. Nobody's going to win here. So, is something going to replace Twitter in the near future? I mean, in theory, some people at Twitter could just say, we're going to start our own thing over here, but they'd be starting from scratch. Just Anne says, I know, but as someone who loves and cares about many people on the spectrum, it's really hurtful. I hope it's not something I said, and I apologize if what I said was bad. I didn't mean it. I find it hard to read. That's really all I was saying. Queen of Wands. More storms, more storms, more fighting, more stupidity. Ace of Swords. To get Musk his victory. I think he'll get his victory and then he won't. And maybe, but okay, thank you guys. It's going to be this. Stupid. 123.30. Okay. All right, I'm getting a bit tired, so I'm going to do one more question, and then I'll carry the others over to tomorrow. At 1:24, we'll just stop. We'll end with this because okay, ready for this one? We're going to go through this slowly, all right? Matt Gaetz, who, in my opinion, should not be walking around. Isn't someone supposed to be arresting him soon? Right? That's what we've heard, allegedly. Okay. So Matt Gaetz, Mulls, a new leader of the GOP following McCarthy in a new audio. So Matt Gaetz not supporting McCarthy, saying that someone else should have McCarthy's job, right? And thinks that person should be Jim Jordan. Oh, Lilibel, that's fascinating. Thank you. Jim Jordan. House Speaker. Potential House Speaker. Jim Human Bullhorn Jordan. Actually, not even a bullhorn. It's those cans you could get at big sporting events where you hit the top and it just goes wah really loudly. He's a human one of those. Jim Jordan. Foghorn. Jim Foghorn Jordan. Yes, Pamela Bryant. Yep. Oh yeah. People, he has a certain amount of popularity amongst his howler monkeys. Debsy, I think that's a good way to put it. Alexander Bellino, a bear horn. Yeah. Two of Cups. Tower. Six of Pentacles. Ace of Cups. Four of Cups. Aww. Democrats are going to win. They're going to be on the right. They're going to be disappointed. I think they're really fed up with McCarthy. But this is Democrats staying in power, and this is excuse me, the people, the Republican members of the House just being all sulky about it. Huh. They have power. They got all the votes. How could they get all the votes? How could they get any votes? I don't know anybody who would vote for them. So we're going to have Republicans, the incredible sulk. So nil point. All right. That's going to do it for me for today. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. I am here 365 days of the year. I will be right back here tomorrow, and we will continue to dig under and see what we can find. It is 1:45 p.m. here in Chicago, and at 4 p.m., so in 2 hours and 15 minutes, I'll be over on the Book Art Media channel for Creative Sprints. Bring your creative projects, anything, and we'll try to encourage you. That's how it works. It's not monetized. I don't make anything from it, but we just want to, Sarah and I, we just want to encourage you to express yourself creatively in some fashion. So anyway, and for Patreons, the monthly Patreon Tarot Social is this Saturday night from 8 to 10 p.m. Links in the description box to Patreon. It doesn't cost much. So, all right. The questions I didn't get to today, I will read on them tomorrow. All right. So thank you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Hang in there. You're not alone, and there are good days ahead. And just think about it. On this very day, while you're making yourself getting yourself a drink, maybe some dinner, just think, Trump's being charged $10,000 today for contempt, civil court. I'm not being charged $10,000 a day, but Trump is. I'll see you tomorrow.